You're an American watching this. Your 2005 Kansas State quarter could be worth over $5,000 at auction, even though most people still spend it without realizing what to look for. Support our effort. Subscribe, like, and share so we can keep uncovering hidden treasures inside everyday pocket change. The 2005 Kansas quarter is part of the famous 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008 and became one of the most collected modern coin series in U.S. history. Each state design highlights something unique, and Kansas brought one of the boldest designs of the entire series. On the obverse, the coin features George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, with Liberty above, In God We Trust to the left, and the date 2005 below. This classic Washington portrait remains consistent across all state quarters, linking the entire series together. Now flip the coin, and you'll see what makes Kansas special. The reverse design features a dramatic American bison standing in a field of tall grass, with a sunflower in the foreground and the inscription, Kansas, above. The state motto, Ad astra per aspera, meaning to the stars through difficulties, is also included, making it one of the most visually powerful designs in the entire program. The coin was struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, meaning it contains no silver. It was produced in massive quantities for circulation, so most examples are extremely common in everyday change. Millions were released, and most saw immediate use in commerce, which is why worn examples are very easy to find today. But here's where things get interesting. Not all 2005 Kansas quarters are equal. While circulated pieces are common, high-grade examples with full original mint luster, sharp bison detail, and clean surfaces are much harder to find than most people expect. These coins often suffered heavy contact marks during mass production and distribution. In top-certified mint state grades, especially MS 67 and above, Kansas quarters can become surprisingly valuable. Some exceptional specimens with strong eye appeal and perfect preservation have sold for thousands of dollars, and rare error varieties have pushed prices even higher. One of the most famous varieties to watch for is the In God We Rust error, caused by a filled die that made part of the motto appear missing. These error coins are highly collectible and can reach strong premiums depending on condition and clarity. Collectors also look for striking errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, and doubled elements in the design. While most Kansas quarters are standard issues, authenticated mint errors can dramatically increase value. If you have a 2005 Kansas quarter, check it closely under good lighting. Look for strong shine, sharp bison details, and clean surfaces without heavy scratches. Also, inspect the lettering carefully for any unusual errors. And most importantly, never clean your coin. Cleaning removes the original mint surface and can instantly reduce its value, even if it looks brighter afterward. The 2005 Kansas State quarter may seem like ordinary pocket change, but its bold design and rare high-grade survivors make it far more interesting than most people realize. And if yours happens to be a pristine or error example, it could be worth far more than 25 cents, something you might still have in your pocket right now, or sitting unnoticed in your home. Before you skip this, take a second and check your coins, because this one catches people completely off guard. Most people don't even realize they've seen it before. Today, we're talking about the Arizona State Quarter from 2008, part of the U.S. 50 State Quarters program, a series that millions of people collected, spent, and eventually forgot about. These coins were everywhere, in pockets, jars, drawers, passed around every single day, But hidden among these ordinary coins are rare versions that collectors are willing to pay serious money for. At first glance, the Arizona quarter looks completely normal. Nothing unusual, nothing that stands out. Just another 25-cent coin that most people wouldn't think twice about. But take a closer look. On the front, you'll see George Washington's portrait, a design that has been used for decades. On the back, there's a detailed image of the Grand Canyon, one of the most iconic landmarks in the United States. In the foreground, you'll notice a tall saguaro cactus with the banner Arizona placed across the design. It's clean, detailed, and visually appealing, but still very common, or at least that's what it seems. Because here's what most people completely miss. Some of these quarters were struck with minting errors, tiny mistakes during production that most people would ignore instantly. But those small errors are exactly where the real value comes from. We're talking about doubled designs, where the letters or images appear slightly duplicated, extra lines that shouldn't be there, off-center strikes where the design is shifted, and even unusual textures or surfaces caused during the minting process. To an untrained eye, these might look like damage or nothing important. But to collectors, these details can mean everything, because only a small number of these error coins actually exist. And the rarer the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some Arizona state quarter error coins have sold for over $5,000. Yes, from a coin that most people would spend without thinking. A simple quarter, turning into thousands, and in exceptional cases, with strong, clearly visible errors and near-perfect condition, values can go even higher. That's serious money hiding in plain sight. Now imagine finding something like that in your loose change, in your car, or in an old coin jar you haven't touched in years. It happens more often than people think. Even normal versions of this coin, if they are in perfect, uncirculated condition, can sell for more than face value, especially if they've been professionally graded and preserved. Condition plays a huge role. The sharper the details, the cleaner the surface, the higher the potential value. So here's exactly what you need to check. Look closely at the design on both sides of the coin. Pay attention to the text, especially Arizona and United States of America. Check for any signs of doubling in the letters or numbers. Look for misprints, missing details, or anything that seems slightly off. Also check if the design looks shifted or off-center. Even small differences can make a big impact. And most importantly, do not clean the coin. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. Cleaning might make it look better to you, but to collectors, it destroys originality, and that can instantly reduce the value. If you believe you've found something unusual, don't guess. Get it checked by a professional grading service, because one small detail, one tiny error, can turn an ordinary quarter into something truly valuable. And if you think this is surprising, there are even more coins out there worth far more than this. Coins that people ignore every single day. The truth is simple. Value doesn't always look valuable. It doesn't always shine. It doesn't always stand out. Sometimes, it looks like a simple coin you almost ignored. Something you've seen 100 times before. So, next time you come across a quarter, don't just spend it without thinking. Take a closer look. Pay attention to the details, because the next valuable discovery might already be in your hands.